freedom. Obsessions always jumping through. I'm so tangled, I'm so worthy. I'm just lost in my reflection. Pay attention, you never will. I will overanalyze and fall victim. Caught up in this perfection, pay attention, yeah, you never will. 'Cause you depend, so you always will. If you arrest yourself again, I'll help you clean up the mess. I wonder if you ever did, yeah. I wonder if you ever did like I did. I wonder if you ever did, yeah. I wonder if you ever did like I did. Just wanna be free, yeah. Free, yeah. Free, yeah. Free, yeah. Let's go. Come on, wanna be free. I wanna be free. Free, yeah, yeah. Freedom, yeah. Freedom, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Bada bing. Dude, let's go. Oh, let's go, baby. How we doing? Will I run for office? I might. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe. Do you need anything like I need you? See, I have a feeling about the running for office that I feel like political commentators should, so they can see how hard it is, right? Experience how hard it is to try and get elected, because it's fucking hard. My friend, he cut his wrist instead. There's your answer. Or else, nothing like success. I would rather be held in regret. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over, ho. Do you need anything like I need you?
do. These are not my words most of the time. Dude, how we doing? And permit me to breathe before I do it again. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Entropy, thank you for that membership. Entropy, thank you for becoming a cyberpunk for 2 months. Let's go. Anything like I need you. Dude, the pine box lies empty. All right, here we go. Everybody take a moment and join me in prayer. I pray to this head of lettuce that please fill the pine box for the love of motherfucking God! Whoa! Dude, let's go! Whoa! Do you need a pine box for Trumpy? It's over. Oh, do you need a pine box for Trumpy? Do you need a pine box for fucking Trumpy? It's over. Oh, a pine box for Trumpy. Let's go, John David. Let's go, baby. Woo! Let's go later! Dude, let's go. Oh shit. Dude, you like this show? Let's go. We're getting started. Dude, I'm taking a beating. Like certain contingents of my far left fan base have been radically fleeing, losing bleeding some subscribers on YouTube because of the video I made. But I have no regrets though, because the video is how I feel. It's how I see it. And I get it. I'm not, you know, I am like, I don't know. I'm left and left. I'm left and Democrat, right? Dude, yeah, we gotta stop fighting, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I just, you know, right? You're still here? Dude, no, a lot of people are still here. I mean, dude, I've lost like 14 and gained 2. Right? So I've lost 12. It's not a lot of people that are leaving. But you know what's disappointing though? Here's the thing I found disappointing. And this is the part of like some of the leftism here, okay, that I'm bothered by some of the leftism in America. Dude, Tanya, let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. But let me just tell you why I'm bothered, okay? Is because what I'm bothered by is a lot of the fucking like the leftists that were giving me shit in the comments, they like stopped watching the video after like 2 minutes, right? Like they saw one thing in the beginning of the video where I started kind of in the heat of the moment. They watched like 2 minutes of it and then they were like, screw you, I'm leaving. And it's like, wow, it's like crazy. Like you had an emotional reaction to the beginning of the video because I dumped you right into some of the intensity, but you didn't watch the whole thing to even see the reasoning behind it. And like, dude, let's go. Bri, thank you. Let's go. And that, guys, is one of the things that bothers me about the leftism is I feel like it's quick to be reactionary, right? And not all leftism. There's a lot of leftism in America that's fucking working hard, trying to make shit. But some of leftism is like, it's like knee jerk. Yes. You know what I'm saying? It is knee jerk. It is fucking knee jerk. I knee jerk time out people. Yeah, but I don't fucking time out people for being leftist. You know, I time out people for fucking being dicks, right? I don't mind leftists, but yeah, the knee jerk, you know, it's a good word for it. Dude, it is. It is. You know, you've always felt that you were a Democrat and the party was robust enough to include you. Yeah, I mean, I've always been a Democrat since Jimmy Carter. You know what I'm saying? I've been a Democrat since Jimmy Carter. And like, you know, I've gotten further and further left in principle as I've gotten older. And yet, though, I realize that, like, we don't live in a left-wing country. That's the thing that's really hard, is it's not even about the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. I mean, sure it is, of course. The Republican Party and the Democratic Party, they have their shit. They have their corporate. They have their donors. They have their fucking, you know, institutional, like, protections that prevent them from suffering the consequences when they make bad decisions. Of course, all of that is true. But the sad reality is that America is really pretty right wing, right? We are, you know, and I mean, I've encountered this before, right? Like I went to UCLA, okay? I got accepted out of high school. I got accepted to 2 colleges. I only applied to 2 and I got accepted to both. I got accepted to UCLA. I got accepted to UC Berkeley. And now Berkeley was like, you know, the epicenter of the 60s. So I was like, man, I really wanted to go to Berkeley, but I didn't really have the money to live that far from home. And I was like, kind of scared to leave home. So my first quarter at UCLA, I lived with my parents. But so what happened was I thought UCLA was going to be like Berkeley. I thought UCLA was the same kind of thing because I knew it was a really good school. But like, goddamn, bro, UCLA was like very conservative. Like it was wildly conservative. And I didn't even know that. Like I was like liberal at UCLA. And at the time, I mean, I was not nearly as liberal as I am now. I mean, I was still somewhat system rebellious, but you know, my system rebellion is a little different than some people because I don't like to just stand outside and throw rocks. I like to get inside and dismantle from within. That's sort of always been my sort of thing. But dude, let's go. Thank you, Anthony. But yeah, dude, I often wonder what my life would have been like had I gone to Berkeley. But yes, so what's crazy though is UCLA was very conservative and it was also very huge. And then I did join a fraternity, but it was kind of like my experience at the fraternity that made me realize, shit, I don't really want to be part of mainstream society. And then I became a rock and roller. So it's wild how like, you know, sometimes we make decisions, you know, that lead us, you know what I mean? Like you can, you know, I joined this institution that was kind of like misogynist and toxic, and it actually led me out of it. You know, it was like I had to get in there and see the bad side. Fraternities seem odd to you? Yeah, so what they really are, I can't speak for everybody, but like for me, there were 2 reasons why I joined a fraternity. One, well, there were 3. One was just UCLA was so big, okay? There's like 40,000 students at UCLA, and it's attached to this miniature city called Westwood. So when you go to UCLA, it is so expansive and so large of an institution that you feel really separate and isolated. And so I wanted to join a fraternity because I wanted to just have a group. Okay. I wanted to have like an anchor to like, you know, to like sort of be a foundational anchor. So that was part one. Part two was I had been a nervous person who didn't have a lot of friends all through my schooling, was quite the nerd. And it was my senior year of high school when I started, you know, I got contact lenses and I started being a little more social. So I wanted the social life. I wanted to be popular. Okay. I wanted to be popular. And the best way to be popular in a big school like that is to find an environment like a fraternity or sorority and become one of the fucking popular people in that group, right? So I got in there and I made friends with everybody and I had a bunch of different cliques. And so I was like super popular because I can connect with pretty much anybody, okay? And so that was part of it. And then the other thing is I really did like to drink and I liked having sex. And so when you're at a really big school, if you like to drink and have sex, fraternities are a central spot of that because people like, you know, you have parties and girls that want to have sex go to fraternities. Now, a lot of girls that just want to hang out and like in the little sister program go to fraternities too. And that's where it gets really shitty because there are a lot of girls who go to fraternities that don't want to have sex. And some of the fraternity guys think they do. And that's where it gets like that whole lifestyle gets really ugly. But there are, in fact, a lot of girls that do want to go have sex and they go to fraternities because they know the guys there are up for it and they can go have like a no strings attached sort of thing. And guys are cool with it. Right. And then it's separate from their dorm. Right. That's what would happen a lot at UCLA is girls live in the dorms and they're on, you know, fucking 𝗙់Hall or whatever, second floor. They don't want to fuck around with anyone in the dorm because they don't want to make their living space complicated. But they can go to a party at a fraternity house, have some sex, and then they never even go down fucking Landfair again. You know what I'm saying? And so it's easy for them to like, you know, go party and have a good time outside of their inner circle, you know, dude, let's go. Happy Labor Day to you too, Chris. So there was a lot of that, but our fraternity was cool. We didn't have guys that were rapey, which was nice. There were dudes though. There were plenty of houses at UCLA that had rapey vibes and, you know, you get the scuttlebutt on that. And I mean, there's a big problem with that. I think in fraternities in general, but there was a lot I didn't like about it. And so I eventually deactivated, right? And I fucking bounced out, but it did lead me to my job at Tower Records and sort of becoming a rocker. So it was good. You know what's crazy though, guys? Check this out. All right. Can I just share something with you? So there was a guy not too long ago. Okay. Let me just see if I can find let me see if I can find the comment because somebody watched the stream where I was talking about being in a fraternity at UCLA. And then the guy said, like, left a message saying, I'm in this fraternity. Which one were you in? And so I Googled his fraternity and his fraternity is literally in the building that my fraternity had been in, but it's a different fraternity. Like my fraternity got booted out of UCLA. They got in some trouble. And so they got like, you know, I don't know, 10 years or 15 years after I quit school, they got the boot. But this guy that was watching a video, his fraternity's in the building, like in the same fucking building that mine was in back in the 80s, right? Isn't that wild? Hold on. Let me see if I can find the comment. Give me 1 sec here. Dude, it was pretty funny. All right, let me see. I have to get out of today, though. Dude, it was a couple days ago. Dude, this is going to be funny if I can find it, though. Oh, yeah. Dude, look at this. Here it is, dude. Check this out. So this is the guy, okay? This guy, right, says, where is he? This guy right here said, what fraternity were you in at UCLA? I was in 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗀 there. And I'm like, wait, I just Googled and saw you guys are at 522 Landfair. That was my fraternity back in 1987. It was 𝗙𝗍𝗪. I lived first downstairs in the first room on the left past the stairs, and then upstairs in the lodge, which was the room upstairs on the south side of the building in the front with the French doors. I'm like, no way, dude. And he's like, no way, the old apartment building that got converted, that's crazy. Wow, that makes me so happy. What a coincidence. I know exactly what rooms you're talking about. If it stayed the same, I think that room got called the Bat Cave since there was only the circular stairs through that room you're talking about getting to it. Yes, same. What a crazy time that was. And like, so dude, isn't that wild? Isn't that fucking crazy? Dude, it's crazy. I was straight up social. Yeah, I mean, so guys, I've lived like a lot of different lives. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was an awkward, moved around a lot nerd with no friends as a kid. And then, you know, straight A student. I was also like a championship swimmer. Then I became popular in college and I was in a fraternity and I was like Mr. whatever, backwards baseball hat, going to Wooden Center to fucking bench press and like a man about town, right? And then I deactivated from that and worked in Tower Records in Westwood, became a rock and roller, moved to Hollywood and fucking was in rock bands. And then I became a surfer. Surfing was like, obviously, as you can see, still a memory back there. I have a big fucking surfing, like I surfed all through my 20s. That was like a huge part of my subculture too. And, you know, and then I went on tour, moved to Portland and like, became a recording studio owner, you know, and eventually touring the country as a one-man indie rock band. And then, you know, of course, I was a bartender and a waiter for years and years. And then eventually going to film school when I was 40 after having a kid and then working in the film industry for a while. That photo is a tour poster from the Wanted. Yeah, that one right there, that orange one. And then I became, you know, a pretty famous Fortnite guy, Fortnite player. And now we're doing politics. So I have been like, you know what I'm saying? I have been like had a lot of different lives. You know, I've been very lucky. And I mean, the downside is like, I never reached sort of the top echelon of any of those things, which I think is one of the downsides. Like when you do a lot of things like that, you know, people will do one thing and they'll do it for 25 years. And after 25 years, they're like the very top of that vocation. And so when you do 8 vocations, you are never at the very top of like one vocation. But I've really I require a lot of change, I think. You know, I do. I like variety, bro. I do. I like new experiences. Not necessarily variety. I like new experiences. I like to, because when you start a new endeavor, like you don't know shit and you're way out of your depth. And then the more you do it, the more you fucking get better at it and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And so, and I was always trying to be the best, but, you know, it's like I would often, you know, get to a certain level and then I would start pursuing something else. But I kind of like starting over. You know, I think that's kind of weird. And a lot of people don't like starting over, but I like starting over. There's something about it, like a fresh slate. You know, you just wipe that fucking chalkboard and you start putting some new shit on there. Dude, you know what's funny is, hold on. I ordered a Mom Donnie shirt. Wait a second. Hold the phones here, dude. I thought I ordered one. Maybe I didn't pull the trigger on it. Because I found a Mamdani shirt that I like. All right, let me see. I thought I had ordered it, actually. That's a reminder. Oh, yeah. Dude, what the fuck? I never got that fucking package. Dude, I just realized I ordered one and I never fucking got my package. Bro, that was like a month ago, dude. Hold on, I'm emailing them now. So let's go. Dude, thank you for the reminder, dude. It was supposed to be here July 23rd. Okay? And like... Yeah, crazy. All right, thanks for the heads up. It says my package is in Texas, right? The shipping label was created. USPS is waiting for the fucking item, bro. Dude, you'll see it. What does this shirt look like? I'm not going to tell you what it looks like because it's a funny one, okay? So, but you'll see. I'll get it. And yeah, dude, that's crazy. I'm so glad you reminded me, though, right? You snatched it? No, you didn't. Because it never left Texas, okay? It never left Texas. Like, you see it. That's what I do like about tracking is it shows you, like, when it leaves the state and when it's out for delivery. But, oh, my God, I forgot about the fucking, the reminder. Dude, yeah, maybe that shit got hijacked or some shit, bro. Right? Because it's a Zoran shirt, they, like, fucking, they burned it, right? It got burned. It got shoved up Greg Abbott's asshole. Right? By his trusted attorney general, Ken Paxton, during a fucking an adultery ritual. Dude, you know, Jesus criminy. Okay, so today, guys, we're gonna have some fun, okay? Because I'm sort of taking a beating on YouTube today. I have a lot of leftists that are mad at me. Okay, they're mad at my take on the thing. And again, for anybody who's like watching that was like leaving some of the messages, there's been a crazy number of messages, but I just want to say that my take on this is I don't deny that Chorus, Brian Tyler Cohen's thing was funded by the 1630 fund. We know it was funded by that. We absolutely don't. There's no denying that. And yes, That is a dark money, whatever, left-wing dark money thing, okay? Now, the thing, though, that I take issue with is that Taylor Lorenz's network that she's in that pays her a cool $100,000 that I didn't know she was making, that guy who runs her, like, writers network and pays her is a funder of a whole bunch of dark money things. So, like, if it's okay for people to fund them, it's okay for us to spend that money. As long as it's left-wing money, like, I don't fucking care, right? You know what I'm saying? As long as it's not coming from Russia and it's not coming from fucking, you know, some weird shit, I don't care, man. But I mean, if the guy who pays you can put money into a dark money organization, then I can fucking take some out of it. And I mean, I'm not, because I'm not in it. Now, I will ping, though. I will say that, Brian, they should have said it. They should have put it on there, okay? They should have. It should have been on the website. And it not being on the website, I get how that's a fucking problem. But my thing is this, my thing is that MAGA is our enemy. They're taking away our rights. They're going to boot our ass. So, like, I'm okay with fucking, you know, temporarily suspending some rules to make sure that JD fucking Vance doesn't win in 2022, right? Like, I'll take dark money to fucking beat JD Vance and to kick MAGA in the teeth. Oh, 100%. I don't care who gives me the funding. I will fucking take it. Now, what's crazy about it is if it's dark money, there's not even somebody telling you what to do. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? There's not even something telling you what to do if it's dark money. You don't even know where that money came from, you know? So, like, I mean, dude, when they go low, we go lower. I'm ready to go low, man. You know, we're hella cooked? Nah, I don't think we're hella cooked, boss. We had a long way. We're a long way from being cooked. But I mean, we definitely have a problem with that. Like the problem we face, guys, and I'm not sure exactly how we solve this, but I believe that there is a section of American leftists who just are never going to support the Democratic Party again. But they're also not going to leave it. They're going to stay there and try to sabotage it because they're resentful and angry at it. It's not a huge portion of people, but there's a small group of American leftists that are not going to form their own party, but they are going to simply try to sabotage the Democratic Party for the remainder of our existence out of spite. And so we're going to have to fucking, you know what I mean? You take the money, but remain true. Absolutely. Mindfulness. You know what I'm saying? Now, I think you can take money and remain true to your convictions. I believe you can. You know what I'm saying? It's not always easy. I mean, I just went through something in the gaming world where I was making 10, 15 grand a month. And I was a very prominent figure in the Fortnite scene. I was like right out there, one of the fucking big names. I was making a lot of money. And all I had to do, I didn't even have to go against my principles. All I had to do was not say my principles. I could just remain silent about my social justice shit, and I would have still been raking in that money for doing nothing but playing a fucking video game. And I couldn't. I spoke up. I spoke my piece. I fucking defended my shit. I took on Andrew Tate. I paid the price. I lost all that money and fucking said goodbye to a gaming career, right? You know, but all I had to do was shut up. You know, back when I, was streaming for 20 people and had, was making $200 a month, I was at that point wondering, like, goddamn, why didn't I keep my mouth shut? But I'm glad I kept my mouth open. You know what I'm saying? Right? If every socialist in the USA joined the Democratic Party, culture would change. I believe so. I believe if all the far lefties would just run for office in the Democratic Party, it would stay the same. And Entropy, you do remember those 20 people. I can name them. Dude, I can name the people that were in the stream every day. It was Elite. It was Entropy. It was Engrain. It was fucking, who else was it? It was Glizzy Jake, right? There were like a handful. There were like 20 people that literally came every day. That was all we had, right? Seacrest, okay, Crygo. You know what I'm saying? They're like, dude, they hung in there. And now we're growing a little bit again, right? Which is good. But I don't know, man. I'm not going to start hating and shitting on the Democratic Party. I don't think we need to. You know, I think we can fucking grab the levers of power inside that party and use it. Right? Yeah. See, capitalism is really hard, guys. That's the problem. You know, that's the problem. Capitalism is a problem. Death Force, yep, you were there. Dude, capitalism is a problem. You know, but I will say though, dude, I think there's some good shit happening. Now, you want to talk about something funny? Isn't this crazy? Did you see the New York Post hit piece? Okay, did you see this? You got to see this. Look at this hit piece, right? Look at this. All the right wingers are spreading this. Why don't you know any names on that list of the 20 people? I don't know, because you probably weren't around. That was back in like early 2023 when that was happening, right? But look at this shit. It says, oh mama, Qatar bankrolled over a decade worth of films directed by Zohran Mamdani's mom. So the New York Post is saying, oh my God, Zohran Mamdani, like his mom got a bunch of financing for her films from Qatar. And therefore Hamas and bad terrorism shit. They're trying to sink him. And I'm like, wait, just hear me out for 1 second, right? And I'm like, Trump took a $400 million jet from Qatar, right? But look at that. And it's the same goddamn paper, guys. Look at this, the same paper, New York Post. Trump says $400 million jet from Qatar is more impressive than outdated Air Force One. Why wouldn't I accept a gift? And then down here, they're like, oh, mama, Qatar bankrolled a decade of films made by Zoran's mom. Dude, isn't that funny? Dude, it's the same fucking paper. Dude, clown show. Right? I mean, it's not just me that these right-wingers are fucking clowns, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like, dude, this shit is like bothersome, dude, this kind of shit. And this is part of the reason why I think the Taylor Lorenz thing bothered me, is because she's like, oh, Brian Tyler Cohen's taking dark money. And it's like, okay, yeah, he is, right? Yeah, We Are Chorus is taking dark money, absolutely. But your boss, the guy who pays you, is funding dark money. Like, if you're funding it, if you're taking it, one and the same, baby. Right? Oh, I fund it. And somebody else takes it. The people who take it are bad. I'm good. I'm just funding. Dude, fuck that, bro. Clownery, bro. I mean, politics is filled with dark money. And if the Republicans are using dark money, right? If the Republicans are using dark money, I'm going to use dark money too. Fuck it. If I can get it, I don't have any. I don't have any money right now. I don't have any dark money. But like, dude, if there's dark money that can help me get this message out and can help me kick MAGA in the teeth, dude, I'm taking it, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking it. Dude, I am. Right? But so the thing about that though is I have not seen a contract that said people can't talk about it. I saw that they recommended that people don't, all right, and they keep the program quiet. But like, dude, you know, normally what happens is you sign an NDA, okay? And like NDAs, signing an NDA in politics or in government is like, dude, everybody's signing NDAs. The only reason why you don't hear about that shit is because everybody's signing them and then they're never talking about it. Anytime you work in an administration, you sign an NDA. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? They can't. Yeah, but so Tony, if they don't want to sign up for that, they don't have to take it, right? Like, money comes with strings. So if somebody offers you money and says, hey, we're providing you politicians, and if you want other politicians, you just got to contact us. right? You know what I'm saying? Did anybody, like, here's the thing, Tony. If one of their people contacted them with a politician and then We Are Chorus prevented them from having a politician on, then you might have something. But if We Are Chorus is giving somebody $8,000 a month, they want to know who you're bringing on your show. Okay. And that's fine. Okay. If you're going to take the $8,000, you fucking, you let them know who you're having on. Now, if you want to have Zoran on and they come to you and say, nope, can't do it, then you have a bone of contention. But nobody had that happen. Nobody had a guest that they fucking couldn't have on that was blocked by the unit. None of that shit happened, but all money comes with strings, guys. And most government jobs come with NDAs. And so you just never hear about it. You don't know how many people you watch every day that are under some kind of NDA because they don't talk about it. Because that's what NDAs do, man. Dude, I've signed many NDAs for jobs, for reality TV shit on films. You know what I'm saying? Where you go and you work on the film and the director is fucking kicking windows out and shit. And you can't tell anybody because you signed an NDA because the director's a problem child. It's like, welcome to the fucking capitalist world, bro. It's like all that shit. Everything is hidden under NDAs. My God, Pete Hegseth's rapes are under NDAs. I don't think sexual assaults should be allowed. I don't think like actual criminal, like fucking, you know what I'm saying? Criminal activity should not be allowed under NDAs. But you know what I mean? That's just it, right? Like, dude, you know how many people are under NDAs in entertainment? My God, dude, you go to any show, any news show, you go to Fox, right? You go to the fucking Fox 5 or whatever, right? The 5. Everybody who works on the 5 is under an NDA. Everybody who works on Abby Phillips' show or the fucking Today Show, they're all under NDAs. You know what I'm saying? Like, please, dude, it's like secrecy is like literally the foundational skeleton of capitalism, dude. Dude, it's like, I mean, the system sucks, bro. All right, let's go. But dude, I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't care. I'll take that fucking dark money all day long, bro. You know what I'm saying? Right? I'll take that all day long. Yeah, but Bradshaw, dude, quit quoting her article. You know what I'm saying? We've read the article. We know what we say. I don't fucking care, dude. Taylor Lorenz, her boss, right? The person who pays her is funding 1630. And she never told us that she was being funded by a guy who was funding 1630. So why is she mad that like Brian Tyler Cohen didn't tell us that his thing was being funded by 1630? You know, yeah, the system sucks, guys. But here's the deal, bro. It's like if we're going to get screwed by the system, by MAGA Republicans, I'm going to use the goddamn system to fuck MAGA, okay? And I'm tired of like, oh, we're going to get bowled over by the system while these fucking rapists and Bible bangers shove Bibles up our ass. Like, fuck that, bro. I'm going to take the dark money. I'm going to take the light money. I'm going to take the clean money. I'm going to fucking pop them in the jaw. And I have no problem doing that as long as I'm putting out messaging that I believe in, that I believe is advancing the fucking cause to prevent my civil rights from being taken away, right? I mean, it's the same shit, right, with California and the redistricting. Dude, California redistricting sucks, bro. I don't want California to redistrict. I don't want all the states to start redistricting so all the red voters in Oregon have no representation. I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is if they're going to do it, we're going to fucking do it. And fuck them, okay? If they're going to break the rules, we're breaking the rules. And I don't want to fucking hear anything about it. Because I am tired of watching my civil rights disappear. And then, oh, we got to play by the rules. Fuck you, bro. Right? I'm going to fucking break some fucking rules. And I'm going to fucking punch MAGA in the teeth. And that's that. And you don't have to do that. You know, you are welcome to curl up in the fetal position and cry while, you know, when all your gay friends are in work camps, but I'm not taking that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I'm going to fucking fight back, bro. I am, dude. All right? I am, dude. I'm going to use the system we have and fucking, right? I'm going to use the system we have and try to do good with it. Okay? But like, again, though, dude, it's like, we know what's happening. Okay? We know that part of the left are like, they don't have their own party. They hate the Democrats, but they're trying to take the Democrats down because they want to do a Trump-style takeover. They think if they weaken the Democrats and knock all the foundational buttresses out, that the party will collapse and they will be able to take over the infrastructure themselves. And I'm like, fuck that, bro. Go get your own goddamn party. You know what I mean? If you don't like the party, I've been a Democrat since fucking Jimmy Carter, dude. My whole life. I like Jimmy Carter, and I have fucking been a Democrat supporter my whole life. So I'm sticking with the party. And maybe I'm going to get in there and change it from the inside a little bit. But I don't like these people trying to, like, take over the shit. You know what I'm saying? Dude, blue MAGA? No. Dude, blue MAGA are the people who are saying the election was rigged, right? If the people that are walking around saying, oh, the election was rigged, the primary was rigged, we don't get a candidate. Every election is rigged against the progressive candidate. Dude, that's blue MAGA. The people who are like, if you don't do exactly as we tell you, we're going to fucking smear you, right? We're going to try, right? Dude, I am not MAGA. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to overthrow the party. You got to remember, guys, that blue MAGA overthrew, okay? MAGA overthrew the Republican Party. That's what MAGA is. They went in there and they took it over, okay? They made it far more extreme, all right? And they bullied everyone into submission. That's what MAGA did, right? And so I'm not bullying anyone into submission. If you don't want to be in the Democratic Party, don't be there. Go somewhere else, man. You know what I'm saying? If you hate the Democratic Party, like, go find another party. But this idea that, like, you're going to try and fucking destroy the Democratic Party because it's not doing what you want it to do. Like, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, it's not entirely doing what I want it to do either, but there's a lot of different kinds of people in the Democratic Party. And you're just, not everybody's going to be happy, you know? And in LA, half of people feels like are against Gavin Newsom. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a, like there's definitely a groundswell of Gavin Newsom. Dude, I think Gavin Newsom might end up being the fucking candidate, dude. And that's really gonna fucking, you know, and again, though, like, if he wins the primary, dude, I'll vote for him. I'll support that guy. I will. Dude, I've seen enough that I like about him that I feel like he can be pushed, right? I feel like if he gets in there, he can be pressured when he's in there, right? You know, I mean, there's definitely, you know, insurance. There's definitely some fighting inside, right? The left wing is fighting. And most of it, though, is like, it's understandable. It's like, what it is there's a huge portion of the left wing that are just so broken by Gaza and by the genocide, which is understandable. They're so broken by it, and yet they simultaneously realize that their entire country and the entire government and the entire capitalism of the country they live in is intertwined with that genocide and has been since the beginning of the country. And so they're like, they don't know what to do, right? Because they feel like they can't vote for anybody in America. Like, there's no, and they're not wrong. Because everybody in America's just a genocidal fucking country. We've been a genocidal nation since the beginning. And now, I see it, the way out of that is all of the people that just can't do it, they need to run and win, and so then they can change that all. But you're never going to be able to change that shit from outside yelling at the political parties. It's just not going to work. You're going to have to get inside and get your hands on the lever of power if you want to change that shit, right? Otherwise, what you could do is you probably could do enough damage to the Democrats to where they lose a whole bunch, and then the Republicans win, but then there's going to be more genocide, and there's going to be like a spiritual genocide here at home, and we're going to lose all our fucking civil rights and shit. We're going to be a Bible fascism, right? Bible fascism. But, you know what I mean? But again, if you're going up against the mob, right? If you're going up against the mob, you have to sometimes use a little bit of mob tactics, okay? You know, that's the truth. It's like when you're going up against the mob, like, you know, there's a saying, you have to fight fire with fire. And I think that saying is sometimes true, you know? But dude, I'm like, it's hard though. It's hard, man. It's hard to be a leftist who supports the Democratic Party because there's like a very like polarizing, right? That like, I don't know, man. And it's not all leftists, because I know there are a lot of leftists who don't hate the Democratic Party, and they're not just shills. They're people who knew Joe Biden sucked, but he was better than Donald Trump, okay? And he could win. And they know that fucking, like, you know, genocide is brutal and horrible, but they also know that it's not like we can just flip a switch and make it end, because the country is so fucking intertwined with it. And that we have to be willing to do the legwork ourselves to end that shit. So there's a lot of great leftists, I think, around. Now, what's hard for me is a particular brand of leftists who they just want to be mad at the Democrats. They're mad at them because of Bernie. They feel like their revolution got stolen from them, and they hate the party, and they hate everything about it, and they don't really want to, you know, they're never going to be MAGA, but they don't have anywhere else to go, so they're identifying with the Democrats out of pure necessity, and they're filled with rage about that because they literally don't want to be doing it. And those people are sort of addicted to being angry and being outraged and feeling like everyone is against them. And they want to just burn everything down in response to that. And I don't like that kind of energy, man. I don't like that kind of like hopeless, we're all fucked, we can't change it, and everybody's the worst kind of energy. I don't like that kind of energy. It's not my vibe, right? My vibe is like, no, man, if I really hate the government that much, I will go get elected and get in there and fucking change it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why couldn't I make it to Congress? If I really want to do that, if I feel the need of like, man, I got to get in there, like, fuck it. Or at least I'll try to lead me on some other journey. I mean, this journey's brand new. Maybe this will lead me there. I don't know. You know, but I like, dude, I like that phrase. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. But the problem that I see that we confront is the fact that there's no chance of everybody in the Democratic Party being happy. Okay? There's not. And like, not on everything, right? There's always going to be somebody who's feeling betrayed and left behind, you know, but I really think we should focus on our fucking, you know, on civil rights domestically, you know, right? The left has been correct about the right wing this whole time. Always correct. Deserve to have your concerns taken seriously. Oh, I get that, Stoudman. I get that you deserve to have your concerns taken seriously. But the thing that's really hard though is because of the political system, it's kind of entrenched. So it's like our representative government is not very representative, and it hasn't been for some time. And like, that's why we need a replacement of the government, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I think that the way we're going to get taken seriously is by getting inside now, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it's entrenched, you know, it is. I mean, if you look at the way it's been, guys, look at like Nancy Pelosi, look at Mitch McConnell, look at these politicians, look at Joe Manchin. Sometimes these people are not even popular in their home states, and they just win every election because they've been doing it for so long that it's like the person who's been doing it for 30 years versus a newbie, and the people are sheep. they just vote for the same person because they're afraid of too much change. Like a lot of Americans are really bad with change. And so that hampers us. Like, you know what I'm saying? And greed has killed everything. Greed is just the operating value of capitalism, right? Greed has killed everything. It's literally why housing is so expensive, you know? You know what I mean? But called Trump a fascist? Oh, yeah, no. But dude, Stoudman, I knew Trump was a fascist, right? I mean, I think a lot of people did, but you know, the first time around, there were a lot of people in government that were like preventing him from going off the rails. But I'll be honest though, guys, I think most people believed that Donald Trump was not going to ever win again after the insurrection. And the fact that he got enough votes to win after the insurrection shows you how fucking sad and wounded America is. Our country is fucking sad and wounded. You know, it is. Our country is fucking wounded, man. You know what I mean? Like he should have never won again. That is on our voters. American voters are fucking terrible. They're terrible, fucking, right? They are. How the fuck did 78 million people vote for that fucking piece of shit? Like, there's no fucking way, dude. I would have literally voted for a dead body and 5 people from a bingo parlor to make the decisions of America for the next 4 years. You know what I'm saying? I don't think America is fucked. I think a lot of American voters are fucking, they're just wounded. You know what I'm saying? They're hurt. They're hurt. You know, they're hurt from like the pandemic and from capitalism and from, you know, like seeing the horrors of homelessness and fucking living in fear of losing their job, of getting sick, right? And you know, not taking care of themselves mentally. You know, it's hard. I mean, it's hard, dude. You know, a lot of people are trapped, you know, but let me just tell you guys, I think that sometimes you have to go through some really painful shit to come out the other side. Like, let me just tell you, before I got sober and before I got therapy and before I went and did EMDR and before I really changed my life, I had to go into some of the darkest corners of like drug addiction, and I had to lose a lot of shit. I had to lose a lot of relationships. I had to lose a lot of opportunities. I had to like paint myself into a corner and really fuck myself over before I found that like better sort of decision-making thing. And so I think we're going to come out of this dark time much better. You know, I really think we are. It's just, it's going to take a little while. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And yes, I like what Karmic is saying there. Self-identify as a phoenix. See, I believe, I've said this before, you know, Zoran Mamdani is going to win the New York mayor race because Donald Trump won this election. If Kamala Harris had won the election, I don't think Zoran Mamdani would have won the fucking race, right? It's like we're going to see new victories, outrageous shit as a reaction to the Trump fascism. And we're going to see a lot of that, like in various ways at the state level, at the higher levels. We're going to see people that get really ingenious and really creative, and you're going to see the will, and you're going to see the fucking, you're going to see the will and the fortitude of the people that really do care and that really do want to fucking change it. You're going to see that shit come out. And Max Left, I know, right? I know that as an immunocompromised person, it's got to be really hard. Because let me just tell you, like, we're going through that now. Like, we can't even get COVID boosters, right? They're making it, RFK Jr. is making it so you can't get a COVID booster, right? If you're 30 and you want a COVID booster, nope. You got to fucking have a doctor that's, you know, you have to have a very important exception, or they won't even let you. It's like not enough that they won't support everybody getting them, but they're actively preventing people from getting those fucking shots, man. Dude, what the fuck is that, bro? And we want to argue about dark money? Like, fuck off, bro. You know what I'm saying? When that shit's happening, they're putting the Bible in schools. They're erasing slavery, and you want to argue about where I get my money to kick those motherfuckers in the teeth? Fuck off, okay? I will fucking dig my money from an X spray painted on a hill on a fucking island somewhere. I don't fucking care, bro. You know what I mean? Like, dude, give me the darkest money on the fucking planet, bro, and I'm gonna go fuck some people up with it. You know? You know what I mean? Like, goddamn, dude. That's just how I feel, dude. You know, and I don't know, maybe I don't have any integrity, but my integrity is I want to fight. I want to fight these fuckers, and I want to win and fucking protect our fucking civil rights and our right to not have a Bible fucking crammed up my ass. Dude, the money the dude buried under my shed, we're looking for that. I haven't dug in a while, but dude, that's how I feel, man. Dude, it is a fun night. Dude, I'm having fun. I don't know about you, but all right, moving on. All right, I'm done. I'm not talking about this shit anymore. You want to talk about it, go watch my video, right? I'm fucking tired of the negativity, right? I know left-wing negativity. I love left-wing, but none of that left-wing doom and gloom shit. Fuck that. Leave that shit somewhere else, dude. I'm tired of the fucking left-wing doom and gloom. All right? I am, dude. Seriously. I want some fucking we can win this. Right? Dude, let's go. Dude, it wasn't a personal attack. Who, you getting in a fight with somebody, Sam? Did you attack somebody? Right? Dude, everybody make peace. Let's go. Make peace. We can do this, dude. We can do this. It is far from over. All right? It is far from over. Let's go. Oh, shit. All right. All right. Let's go. Dude, we're growing, baby. We're growing bit by bit. Dude, do I think Trump will invade Venezuela? So I don't know what's going on with Venezuela. I mean, I do know, right? I do know that Venezuela, so it really, Venezuela's complicated because you know how Trump and Kristi Noem, and we saw, right, the Her Take girls, Anna and that dumb bitch, Jillian Michaels. Remember, they're like, oh, Venezuela won't take the murderers back. No, it's not it at all. Okay, like basically what happened was Trump has prevented Chevron, right? They prevented American oil companies from like working with Venezuela. Okay, Trump has created a situation that made Venezuela very unhappy around fucking oil. Okay, and then Venezuela's like, well, we're not taking any fucking immigrants. And then Trump's like, ooh, Venezuela's being bad. And with them doing that, he's able to say they won't take the immigrants because they're horrible criminals. Even when it was like a gay barber and shit, and they aren't even criminals. But so there's been a giant sort of setup around Venezuela. You know what I'm saying? And so that shit is fucked up. All right? It is. Dude, it is. I know America and oil, but I don't want to talk about it tonight, though. Right? I don't. I want to talk. I want to go look at Cenk Uygur and go clown him and Anna. All right? But frankly, I think I need to do a little bit more research on fucking Venezuela. I don't have all the ins and outs, but I do know, though, that here's what I know. Okay? What I know is, one, Venezuela has the most oil of like anywhere on the planet. That we know. Number two, Donald Trump basically made a deal with the devil and the oil companies. He made a lot of promises to them and got a lot of money from them, and a lot of like American energy policy is about making sure that the oil companies are stacked. Okay? You know what I'm saying? So that's those two things are right up at the top of the Trump mind is take care of the oil business, right? Take care of the oil business and right? And so I don't know. Anything can happen, right? Anything can happen. We are coming up though 2 days, guys, 3 days. We're 3 days away from the press conference. Okay, that press conference is going to be on fucking Wednesday, dude. Wednesday is a press conference. So that shit is crazy, right? So yes, there could be some type of, there's going to be something this week, guys. Okay, there's going to be something this week that is Venezuela, probably Venezuela. It could be, I don't know, something is coming. Okay, because we have on Wednesday is going to be Congress comes back, the Epstein victims do a press conference, and then the following Monday, there's going to be the book. The Epstein book is going to arrive at Congress. So something's going to happen. Yeah, I already pre-ordered Virginia's book. So we'll see. But let's watch this video. All right, I want to see this one. This is an old one from a couple days ago. All right.
Turns out America.
Oh, Jesus. Sorry, guys. So look at this. Dude, look at this, dude. There, look at what's going on, bro. And you knew this was coming. Okay? You ready? You knew that this was coming. Look at this shit. I know, that was a crazy jump scare. I tried to avoid it, but I didn't get my hand on the thing in time. Dude, TYT really cranks their volume. So my apologies if you just got jacked there. I'm sorry about that, and I'm going to try to do better. But, dude, of course, TYT is doing this fucking video. Slim majority of voters approve of Trump's crime policies. Now, first off, we know that Cenk and Anna have somehow converted from defund the police and progressive criminal justice to now they are staunch law and order. Let's give me some law and order. Oh, Cenky. Oh, Cenky, where's my neck? Oh, law and order. Dude, yeah, dude, fuck law and order. You know what law and order really means? It means like bullshit fucking militarization of the country and watch our rights disappear, right? While people fucking oppress, right? Oppression is what that law and order bullshit is. But dude, why? Let me just ask you this. Look at their fucking Chiron. It says trumping crime. Slim majority of voters approve of Trump's crime policies. What crime policy? There isn't even a crime policy. There's not even a policy. This motherfucker is lying about crime and fucking, having the National Guard. We're spending $1 million a day for them to fucking pick trash, right? And threatening to invade blue cities. There's no goddamn crime that he's fighting. He's fucking doing a double jerk, lying about it, and they're presenting it as though, he's doing some crime policies. And, a slim majority approves of this bullshit. It's not even fucking happening, right? And then these progressive motherfuckers are fucking reporting this shit? Like, really? Like, what crime policy is Trump even engaging with right now? Oh, is it if you burn a flag, we're going to have you executed? That's bullshit, right? If you're transgender, they're going to fucking threaten your state, take your FEMA money if you don't go buy Israel a fucking howitzer. Like, dude, what fucking crime policy does this fucking dying motherfucker even have? Dude, please. Goddamn, bro. All right, you ready? Hold on. I'm setting a chat. I'm setting a goal, dude. We're going to set a goal. We're going to try and get a dance party because I believe we need it. Let's go. All right. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck, dude. Hold on. Let me end that goal. I did it wrong. I'm going to remove the goal. I did 30 minutes. We need longer than 30 minutes. All right, let me try this again. All right, there we go. 1 hour dance party. All right, dude, we're going to fucking dance like nobody's watching. Let's go, baby. There it is. Jill Stein voters. Dude, Jill Stein, can I just tell you, Jill Stein's campaign manager was this guy. There was a crusty guy. He's like this big, crusty looking dude from Washington, probably, I don't know, 50 miles from where I live. He ran as a Democrat and he didn't come close to winning. And he got mad that he didn't come close to winning. And then he fucking ran as a Green Party candidate and eventually became Jill Stein's campaign manager. And dude, he hated me. I used to fucking call him out and he would always leave these messages telling me how not punk I am and you're so not punk and this, that, and the other. And I was like, dude, I may not be punk, but as a Fortnite player, I could have gotten more votes than you in your fucking district, right? Just by having some 18-year-olds vote for me, you fucking piece of shit. Like, fuck you, bro. You're like non-existent. That's why you're polishing Jill Stein's fucking fake knob, right? You guys are trying to loot a bunch of people crestfallen about Gaza, and you're not even gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's unwinnable for you. You're a fucking donkey's ass, right? And then eventually he blocked me, right? He did, because he's a clown, dude. Fuck him, though, bro. Dude, seriously, right? All right, you ready? Preach. I will preach, dude. Dude, I will preach. All right, here we go. Let's watch Anna tell us how bad we're doing on crime. Let's go. Puppies in the snow, dude. Dude, I don't really like dogs. I don't. I like poodles, and I like some of the terriers, the sort of muddy terriers, and I kind of like wiener dogs too, but I don't really like dogs, right? I like lizards and snakes, right? Dude, Engrain, let's go, dude. Kittens in a field of roses. Dude, we got to get some fucking Elons in here. We're going to hit a couple Elons. Dude, the Green Party in Europe is cool. But the Green Party in Europe, they look at the Green Party in America and are like, dude, that's not even the Green Party. You know what I'm saying? Dude, Pine Box, Trumpy! Trumpy for Pine Box 2028, dude. Oh, shit, bro. Dude, that's a tweet. Hold on one sec. There it is, dude. Dude! There we go. Donald Trump for Pine Box 2028. I'm into it. All right, you ready? Dude, let's go. Dude, yeah, we'll put him and Ivana can go golfing, dude. All right, let's get into it. Let's watch Anna regale us with her fucking support for Donald Trump's crime policies.
Turns out Americans hate crime. And as a result, as Trump is presenting himself as the ultimate crime fighter in the country, he's getting some good ratings on how he is keeping Americans safe, allegedly. And this is based on a new poll that came out. This is an AP NORC poll. And I want to get to some of the details. So why don't we put up this graphic, which kind of gives you a sense of how Americans are feeling. So according to this survey, the share of Americans who say they think crime is a major problem in certain locations really depends on which location we're talking about. So 81% of Americans do think that crime is a major problem in large cities.
See, that's what's so funny, though, because you know who thinks that is like people who don't live in the cities. Like, dude, everyone's like, Portland's burning. You guys are crime ridden. And it's like, goddamn, bro. Dude, I don't know a single fucking person in Portland who wouldn't walk around in any neighborhood in this city at fucking 3 a.m, dude, with no qualms. Dude, I would literally make a necklace out of $100 bills and walk all over the city and never worry about shit. You know what I'm saying? But people like call me from Wisconsin and are like, are you guys okay? Are you surviving the crime wave? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? dude, it's like nowhere, you know? There's nothing here, dude.
Now, when it comes to the United States overall, that number goes down to 66%. But Cenk, interestingly enough, when it comes to taking stock of their own communities, only 24% of the people surveyed felt that crime is a major problem in their community.
See, isn't that wild? So everybody's like worried about this major crime problem, but none of it is where they live, which shows you how weird it is. It's like, yeah, over there, they're having this really bad crime problem. And like, really? Huh, that's interesting. Dude, yeah, no, we got to watch that Nancy Mace thing. You ready? See, Chicago, though, is basically the N-word for these fucking people, dude. Chicago is a buzzword. Dude, Gavin Newsom's been doing a great job showing how all these other places that have higher crime rates than California. But watch this shit right here, dude. Look, watch this. This is Nancy Mace, but watch this guy. Fox News, watch what she says right here.
What's your reaction to what we've seen here in Washington, where you work and live part-time? And would you welcome federal resources going into a part of South Carolina with a high crime rate?
Well, Congress is back in session on Tuesday, and I hear D.C. and the Capitol is safer than it's ever been. And I hope that President Trump has the resources to send soldiers to Chicago if that's what it takes. That is one of the most violent cities in America, particularly for the hardest hit communities there.
Did you see that? He said, would you be opposed to the National Guard being dispatched to the high crime rates of South Carolina? And she's like, I hope he sends the National Guard into Chicago. Most violent city out there. It's not. Dude, he asked about South Carolina. She's like, oh, yeah, whoops. Oh, I don't know. I saw something go by my head. Maybe it was a bullet that went by her head. And she's like, yeah, whoopsie.
And this is what we're seeing. The Democrat Party is a party of violence. They are defending rapists. They're defending murderers. They're defending child molesters and pedophiles by keeping those who are committing heinous crimes and who are here illegally right here in the United States. I mean,
dude, what is she fucking talking about, bro? Dude, the only rapist, pedophile, criminal that I know is Donald Trump, boss. Dude, what the fuck? And what is she doing? What is this look, bro? What is this look, dude? Oh my God, bro. Look at that. Look at that screenshot, dude. She's about to polish the knob, bro. Oh, wow. That one's a good one. Nancy Mace polish.jpg, baby. Holy shit.
Fighting for the rights of illegals. They're fighting for the rights of gang members and cartel members. It's out of control. It's insane. And I look forward to watching the videos of soldiers entering Chicago and getting Chicago safer than it's ever been, because the mayor certainly is not doing it. Neither is the governor.
And again, let's look at the question that started this off.
What's your reaction to what we've seen here in Washington, where you work and live part-time? And would you welcome federal resources going into a part of South Carolina with a high crime rate?
Well, Congress is back in session on Tuesday, and I hear D.C. and the Capitol is safer than it's ever been. And I hope that President Trump has the resources to send soldiers to Chicago if that.
Yeah, to Chicago. Yikes. Dude, what is going on with her? What the fuck is like with her face, bro? Seriously. You know what I mean? Like, dude, she looks like fucking Liam Neeson right? She looks like Liam Neeson in a Quentin Tarantino movie, bro. Like, I shit you not, dude. She is look at her neck, bro. She is like fucking cranking some hardcore drugs, dude. Now, dude, I did a lot of meth when I was 21 years old, man. I used to fucking shoot that shit up when I was 21, okay? I was dumb. I was a fucking shithead. I was emotionally wounded. I had a little methamphetamine fucking needle habit for a couple of years. And this is what I looked like, bro. That's exactly what I looked like. I looked like Nancy Mace when I was fucking slamming speed, dude. It is fucked up, bro. Jesus. Dude, puts Tarantino on the watch list. Oh shit, dude. Dude, doesn't she look like the guy in Kill Bill who's always grabbing his beard? She does. She's like, oh, Donnie Trump is my favorite rapist pedophile. Chicago. Dude. Oh Lord, bro. What the fuck, dude? What are we doing, man? All right. That's my little interlude. Hold on. Let's go back to Anna's crime poll.
So
yeah, I have.
Yeah, that is interesting. I do as well. But hold on. I just want to say that, look, when you break things down by party identity, so 96% of Republicans see crime as a major problem in large cities, along with 68% of Democrats. That's still a significant majority among Democratic voters, okay? And people who actually live in big cities are more likely than those who live in like the cushy burbs to say that crime is a major problem in their community. And so I've got a lot to say about that and synthesize the results of this poll.
I mean, dude, obviously we have some like lack of healthcare, lack of educational funding, over policing, massive wealth gap, impoverished neighborhoods. I mean, dude, like why aren't we addressing all that shit? Why is our only solution for crime to hire more of these cops that show up after the crime has been committed? Can we take some time to focus on solving crime before it gets committed? Like, it doesn't matter how many cops you hire, they're always showing up after the crime was committed. So you can have 10 million cops that show up after the crime's been committed, and that's not doing anything. You have to, like, right? You have to attack it before. It's like the same with drug addiction. You can't take away the drugs. You can't beat the addiction out of the addict. You got to heal the addict while they're sick before they get to full-blown addiction. It's like mental health that comes first. You provide the mental health. You provide a climate of mental health, a climate of like, you provide a social climate that is not so much rugged individualism that we're going to put you in a goddamn tent before we're going to help you out. But like, what do we do in America, dude? Every time like, oh, we have SNAP benefits. No, we're going to just make them really hard for you to get. We're going to make it so you can't have a soda. We're going to make it so if you're poor, your life is so fucking uncomfortable that what? Oh, that you're going to go commit crimes. So now after you've committed a crime, we can send in our fucking 5 million police and put you back into slavery, legalize slavery in the prison system. Like, bro, it's like so fucking boring, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like the shit we do is so boring.
But I'm curious what you think, Cenk.
Yeah, so I think that this is a really interesting findings, and it proves a couple of different sides right, and so that's why I'm fascinated by it. But first, before we do anything else, you have to realize that there's two different things here. One is the actual issue itself of crime, and the other is the politics of that issue.
Dude, and I think, no, there's a third issue, which is the perception of crime, okay? And we saw this. Let me take you through this, guys, okay? Because we saw this. So a while back when I was still streaming on Twitch, there were some guys from the gaming industry that, like from the Fortnite industry, guys that I like, but they were coming in and being trolls. And so I eventually banned them all on Twitch just to fucking get them out of there. But so what was interesting is these guys moved to Dallas for gaming, right? But this guy came in and he was like, dude, there's so much more crime in LA than there is in Dallas. And I was like, no, dude, if you look statistically, there's way more crime in Dallas than there is in LA. It's just a bunch of people in LA are living under the perception that there's a lot of crime, okay? Because there's this fucking feeling reverberating of like, ooh, they're tired of the Democrats. They don't like having a black mayor. right? They don't like Gavin Newsom, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. So they feel, oh, there's so much crime because the news talks about smash and grab or this or that, or they don't like the progressive policies, the cops, right? They did this in Portland. We had some progressive ways of dealing with crime, and the cops wouldn't play ball. They told people, sorry, they won't let us come and answer the call. They were lying to people to give the perception of like fucked up crime response. Okay, so this guy was like, dude, I was like, dude, the reality is there's more crime in Dallas, but you feel like there's more crime in LA. You know what I'm saying? And that is a big problem we have here, which is a perception of crime, okay? Which is like, if you are a red person, if you're a MAGA person and you don't like the way they're dealing with the police, or you don't like your mayor, you're probably going to feel like there's a lot of crime or your neighborhood is unsafe or whatever based on your fucking perception. When in reality, you know, the people that are, you know, most white people are never encountering any crime. It's like 2% of people actually encounter violent crime. It's like pretty fucking rare. And especially if you're white, it's like super rare, right? People of color that are trapped in impoverished neighborhoods, yeah, they encounter it a lot more. And people in poor neighborhoods encounter it a lot more, you know? But like, dude, the perception of crime is insane. And what's crazy about it now is crime was really bad in the 90s. Right? In the 90s, carjackings were happening all the fucking time, bro. It's crazy, dude. You know, you'd turn on the news and there were like 5 carjackings a day in fucking Hollywood and LA, dude, in the 90s. Every day it was like, holy shit, carjacking. I had my fucking scooter stolen. Like, people's cars were getting ripped off. I mean, it was nuts. And like, so much of that shit is down now. But the perception of crime is utilized to elect Republicans, to give tax breaks to the rich, and to oppress, to add more police, to make more stringent social justice policies, to crack down on trans people or homeless people or drug addicts. And right? The perception of crime gets rich people more money, and it gets systemic industries more bodies to fucking fill those prisons and shit like that. So the perception of crime is like a tool, man, when the reality is like we're all actually pretty fucking safe unless you are in a really, really bad neighborhood. And those neighborhoods don't need more cops. They need more money. They need more opportunity. They need like healthier food. They need better schools. They need they need opportunity. They need to like an option other than join a gang or join a gang or live forever like being oppressed, right? It's like join a gang or end up in prison, right? If you go to some of these really impoverished, minority-packed neighborhoods, the people growing up there, if they're not an athlete or a fucking gifted fucking student, they can either join a gang or they end up in fucking prison. And that's their only fucking choice, bro. And it's fucking bullshit. Like, they should have a lot more opportunity than that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And like, dude, it's fucking heartbreaking. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So when we said, for example, on this show, that crime had gone up during COVID, 2019, 2023, the politics of that for a lot of Democrats and people on the left was, no.
Dude, that's bullshit, Cenk 𝗙𝗍𝗄. Everybody knew crime went up during the pandemic. Of course it did. People were struggling. They were broke. Homelessness increased. Tensions increased. Crime always goes up, right? In times like that. There's a fucking pandemic. The entire population is shaken and broke and stuck. Crime always goes up. No Democrat said crime didn't go up in 20 to 23. What we said is it wasn't going up because we got rid of cash bail. It was going up because of the goddamn pandemic. The same reason inflation went up, okay? But he's always like making some fucking bullshit that like, oh, the Democrats are ignoring reality. It's like, fuck you, Cenk. You fucking bullshit artist. Like, my God, dude. People went through a bunch of shit during the pandemic. And yes, crime went up. And then it started coming down in 2023. Okay, finally, along with inflation, along with other shit. But dude, now why's my power bill going up? I thought all this energy was going to make our power bills. Remember? Trump's going to cut our power bills in half within the year. Dude, we're fucking coming up on month 9, bro. My power bill's gone up. Dude, what the fuck are these people talking about, bro?
We should say that the crime did not go up. It's a right-wing narrative. We should ignore it completely and just yell at anyone who brings up crime and accuse them of being fascist. Okay, so.
Dude, he always lives in this fantasy world, right? What's he gonna do? Dude, how long, guys? How long before he says Biden was young and dynamic? Dude, what do you think? You think he's got a Biden was young and dynamic in here, even though Biden has nothing to do with this? I think we're going to get a Biden young and dynamic. All right? I think we're going to get it. Oh, shit.
If you think that didn't happen, you're 100% wrong. It's verifiable. It definitely happened. It happened to us. It happened to anyone who suggested that crime was real. Okay? So then we said, yeah, but guys, it is real and people are concerned about it. And then in 24 and 25, what happened was crime started to go down. And so that the dip in crime is also real. So there's some questions around Washington, D.C.'s numbers, et cetera.
Yeah, but remember how we said crime was coming down in 2024, Cenk 𝗙𝗃, and you were not saying crime was coming down, right? Oh, but now he says crime was coming down in 2024. It was coming down in 2023, but it was definitely coming down in 2024. But, oh, that's weird, dude. Yeah, being willfully stupid should be a crime, dude. Dude, I know he does not live in reality, dude. They are so phony. Give me a young and dynamic. Come on, baby. Just one, Shanky. One Biden was young and dynamic, please.
But overall, for the FBI tracking it, it's not only gone down in those years, but it's now, according to some analysis, at a 20-year low. So if you think that crime is still super high and you're worried about it, it's the worst it's ever been, that's just not true, okay?
Oh shit, let's go. Thank you, boss. Dude, you're the man. Dude, we got a little Taco Bell here. Oh, dude, you are the king, boss. Thank you.
Hi, chat.
Yeah, let's go. Oh shit. Thank you, boss. Love you. You put the burritos and crunchy. All right. Perfect. Let's go. Fucking A, dude. I know we're almost 500 people. Dude, we've been hitting like 500. Like pretty much we've been dipping into the 500s like nightly. Everybody who's coming and hanging out. Like, I'm so glad you guys are here, right? I'm glad. We're building it, man. We're fucking building it. Dude, we are, dude. We're gonna get this together, boss. We are.
Saying that crime didn't go up wasn't true for 4 years. Saying that crime is not going down, if you're a Republican or a right winger right now, is not true, okay? So you can do partisanship all you want, but there is reality, right? Now, why crime went down recently is a super interesting question. We'll talk about it in a sec. But for those of us who said this is a massive political issue, you have to be careful. Well, obviously these numbers validate what we're saying, with 81% of Americans concerned that large cities have a lot of crime, but it was 66% overall, which is a giant number, right?
Yeah, but that's not validating anything, except there's been a lot of focusing on crime.
On the other hand, if you say, well, we think it's being overhyped, especially today as crime is dipping, you're also right. If you say it today, not when it was rising, but when now it's dropping, right? And so that 24% saying, hey, in my community, I don't think it's much of an issue, that is also correct, right? So there's, on the issue of actual crime, good news, things are starting to get better and the numbers are going down, and we should learn some of the lessons from that. Although, again, if you're a partisan, you might not like some of the conclusions.
Dude, the lesson we need to learn is we need to stop fucking fear, right? We need to stop with the constant onslaught of fear. I mean, look at what happened today. Okay? This doesn't have anything to do with crime, but it kind of does, guys. Look at this shit. It's this fucking clown show. Look at what Trump posted today. Without tariffs and all of the trillions of dollars we have already taken in, we have not taken in trillions of dollars. Our country would be completely destroyed, and our military power would be instantly obliterated, completely destroyed, instantly obliterated. Dude, this is fucking bullshit. You know what I'm saying? We didn't take in trillions of dollars, and nothing is going to be destroyed or obliterated, even if we have zero fucking tariffs. You know what I'm saying? And like, this is the shit though. This is why people believe there's so much crime. Why people believe that the world's falling apart. The sky is falling. Dude, it's like, can we get some type of rational connection to reality instead of just a constant bombardment of hyperbole and lies that are so far beyond truth, and then nobody calls this out? Nobody calls this out. I bet we don't see one goddamn paper, one goddamn news outlet that actually looks at this tweet and is like, the president is just completely lying. If he's not dead, he's fucking lying. Dude, it is propaganda upon propaganda. It's like the propaganda is propagandizing. You're right? The propaganda is propagandizing the fucking propaganda. Dude, right? It is like a constant state of non-reality. All right? This is what we're up against. Dude, tell me again. Ask me where I got my money. Fuck you. Right? Dude, I don't care where I'm getting my money, dude. I want to beat down this alternate reality. You see what I did there? You see that? Dude, look at, I fucking turned it into him being a skeezer with like what he would say to the young people. If you don't have sex with me, your modeling career will be completely destroyed and your star power will be instantly obliterated, right? You know he was doing that shit when he was trying to get laid. He was telling Stormy Daniels, if you don't have sex with me right now, you're never going to cross over. Right? But if you do, you're going to be on The Apprentice. You're going to be a big star. And then the minute he's done, he's like, who are you? Right? Oh, shit. What's going on? Dude, he's such a fucking degenerate, bro. Pine Box. Pine fucking Box, boss. Pine Box, please. Get this motherfucker out of here, dude.
We'll get back to that in a second, right? But if you're saying that, oh, okay, since the number's going down, we should go tell everyone crime is no big deal. No. That is a gross mishandling of the politics of the situation. I think that there's a much better way to handle it, but again, I'll get to that in a minute.
Okay. Yeah, dude, of course, Cenk, he's got the way we're supposed to handle it. But the way you're supposed to handle fear of crime is to make a check out to Rebellion PAC, right? For, right? Make sure you buy something at tyt.com and then crime will instantly go down in your neighborhood, guaranteed.
Makes this story or the topic of crime so difficult to report on or talk about is it's not really an issue that's handled on a national level, right? A lot of the policies on a state and local level have an impact on how crime either rises or is dealt with effectively, right? And the other thing that I just really want to drive home to people is that there's this conflation with the typical crime that you think of, right? Homicides, rapes, things like that, theft, and just general disorder. And I think,
dude, what is general disorder, right? Seriously, she said general disorder. What do you think she means by general disorder? Dude, what is that? Right? She's like, oh, we're not talking about homicide and rapes and fucking, right, and theft. She's like, general disorder. Is that like, she means like protesters, doesn't she? She means people fighting back against Trump's fascism or standing up to ICE, doesn't she? No, she said it didn't include homicide, right? Listen to what she says here. Dude, she has a new thing, general disorder, which is like like those unruly leftist homeless people. I bet, remember the homeless people cooking drugs, burning down the whole state? Watch what she says here.
Is dealt with effectively, right? And the other thing that I just really want to drive home to people is that there's this conflation with the typical crime that you think of, right? Homicides, rapes, things like that, theft, and just general disorder. And I think when people in big cities see the increasing disorder, and usually it's because of, let's just keep it real, there's a serious problem in the country right now with drug addiction. And you see it on the streets if you live in a big city.
First off, drug addiction, it's not a criminal problem. Drug addiction's a healthcare problem, right? Right? Like drug addiction, that's a healthcare issue. It's not even a crime problem. Fucking dumbass. You know what I'm saying? But you know the homeless is coming. Give us a homeless, Anna.
And if someone is on, let's say, illicit drugs like meth, they might act erratically, they might act violently. And so people will see that on the streets, and it'll just give them this general feeling that crime has increased. And so I think the way that we handle drug policy in some big cities needs to be revised a little bit, and not back to the tough on crime, throw everyone who's addicted to drugs in prison. I do not want that. That was not effective. That form of the war on drugs was a complete and utter disaster. But there needs to be a way of helping people detox and get rehabilitated so they can live healthy lives. Because what we're doing in some of these big cities not only victimizes the person who's struggling with the addiction and like is on the street struggling with that addiction, it also harms the local community as well, and gives the perception that that disorder is representative of crime being out of control. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, she didn't say homeless outright.
Of course. So in terms of that issue, look, I want to dive into why I think crime went down. I think that COVID was a much larger factor than people initially realized as to why crime went up. We're social animals, and when we all got locked up in isolation, it drives us a little crazy. So I think there was a sociological reason why crime went up. Now, did it aggravate it that we passed some laws that caused some significant retail theft, car theft, etc.? Well,
dude, first off, like, I don't think the laws caused retail theft. I think the cost of living and the fact that people during the pandemic lost their fucking jobs and money led to retail theft. I mean, people are sick of, like, every 5 years, the price of shit doubles while their wages go up by $2. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit, I was making $9 an hour, and 10 years later, I'm making $15 an hour. But in the meantime, my rent went from $600 to $1,500. Like, how does that work? Right? You're making, you know what I'm saying? You're making $200 a week more before taxes, but your rent has tripled in price. And it's like, dude, yeah, you're gonna fucking steal some shit. If you have to choose between paying rent and eating, you might go to the store and walk out of there with some shit in your jacket, man. You know what I'm saying? Dude.
I think so.
Yes, it did. Well, let's not beat around the bush. It did.
Yeah,
It did.
but so I hear you, Anna. So
this is their personal, like, LA grievance, though. They've got a personal California grievance. Yeah, I know. The millionaires got like $500,000 PPP loans, and then that shit got forgiven, bro. Like, are you shitting me? They were getting millions, multi-millionaires were getting $1 million fucking PPP shit, and then it just got wiped clean. But us, if I steal some deodorant because I'm broke, they're like, you're a criminal. It's like, fuck off, bro.
And I think it did. And so for the folks that see the crime going down and say, see, it didn't, but wait a minute, hold on. You have to take into account, okay, well, obviously on COVID, we're past COVID, so that's brought some of the numbers down. But a lot of the big cities where we were seeing that crime, the prosecutors and the mayors got fired by the people.
They sure did.
And
they
then
sure did.
And then those cities and states changed laws, including in California. So did that help bring crime down? Probably, right? So I would love to see some studies on it and get a better sense of it.
Dude, they're angling for the right-wing crime narrative.
On the other hand, though, there's 5% less cops in the country today than there was pre-2020. So cops are down, and
Crime
we
is
are at
down.
a 20-year low now that the
Dude, there is so much research. The fewer cops, the less crime. Period. Okay, less cops means less crime. All of the fucking neighborhoods with no crime have no fucking cops in those neighborhoods as a rule of thumb. But see, the thing that bothers me though is that we talk about crime, but like the real crime is like Amazon, wage theft, right? Walmart, wage theft. Home Depot, wage theft. Olive Garden, wage theft. Right? That's the shit. But that shit ain't crime, right? Or United Healthcare not paying people's claims that they paid for and just killing people. Not crime. Luigi popping a cap in somebody, massive crime, crime of the century, right? Kill 100,000 people so the stock goes up, not a crime, right? Bilk Medicare like Rick Scott, not a crime. Go to the Senate, fucking get, look like Uncle Fester on acid and get millions of dollars, right? But steal a fucking pack of gum, you're going to the fucking clink, bro. What the fuck,
significant
dude?
drops in 24 and 25, right? So that gives you a sense of maybe cops aren't the answer, right? So, I'm sure that it depends on the situation. And are the cops down in rural areas, but not in cities? There's so many things that are complexities to this. Obviously, the partisans on both sides won't talk about any of those complexities. One will say there's no crime and it's a right-wing narrative. Another will say bring in the Marines and military rule, otherwise we won't be able to solve it. And I don't think either one of those is the right answer. Politically, I have an answer. Politically, why don't we say, hey, as Democrats, we're better at solving crime. And we're gonna show you, okay? Here's what we're gonna do. And it doesn't have to be more cops. It could be more cops, it could be less cops, but you've gotta actually bring crime down. You have to have a plan and not say it doesn't exist. And
See, but this is bullshit though, because crime came down at the end of Biden's term, and Cenk Uyghur never gave any, right? The entire time during the election, when crime was down, which he says now in 2024, crime came way down. All he did the whole time was say crime's not down, crime is up. Why are Democrats lying about crime being down? But now that the Democrats are out of office, he's like, oh, crime came down. Oh yeah. Yeah, no shit, you fucking dink. Jesus, dude. Yeah, we should be talking about Epstein, fuckers.
B, you've got to actually deliver. That's the hardest part for Democrats, not voters, but the politicians. They don't love to deliver, right? So if you bring crime down, and then you should beat your chest over it and say, goddamn right, look at the things we did and look at the results it got. We're better at bringing crime down.
Yeah, but even if they bring crime down, Cenk, you're gonna just lie about it. And you're gonna say they're not bringing crime down because you are a fucking clown. All right, thank you very much. Oh my God, Nancy Mace is scariest individual, dude. She needs to lay off the crack pipe. Speaking of drugs, right? What the fuck is going on with Nancy Mace? Jesus Christ. Okay, so what's going on with Walter Reed? Did they actually see, right? Did they actually fucking see somebody at Walter Reed? Right? Or is that just a rumor? Right? Because we got to talk about this Trump shit a little bit, okay? Because guys, look at this, okay? So you may have seen this. We're going to take a foray here. But so Trump posted this photo today saying playing great golf with John Gruden, really nice guy, true character, right? Look at that. Trumpy like posted this today. Hey guys, I'm alive. I'm playing some great golf with John Gruden. But like, dude, this is a different hat. Okay. You see this hat? This hat has a yellow. It's one of the yellow ones. You see how that hat has yellow right there? And this hat has an American flag on the side. He's wearing a different hat. This is a different day. And then look at what John Gruden's wearing, right? Look at John Gruden is wearing this. This is today, but when you go to John Gruden's fucking Instagram, all right, if you go to Barstool Gruden's Instagram, look at this shit, bro. Look at when John Gruden was playing golf with the fucking, that outfit, dude. That was August 23rd, guys. So everybody here in today is like, right? Dude, Trumpy is like posting a picture from August 23rd of John Gruden playing golf. Right? All right? That's fucking weird, guys. Okay? When we see him fucking yesterday, but look at him, dude. Look at him. He looks like shit, bro. Look at this. Look at his face, bro. His fucking face looks like it's falling off his skull, man. What is going on, bro? He's like jowls, dude, saggy, and his like, he's like that fucking posture, bro. He's looking for a pine box to lay down in. And yes, dude, John Gruden had some issues with being a racist, misogynist fucking piece of shit, which is unfortunate because I loved John Gruden, but he's a MAGA fucking shithead. I like now that the Raiders coach is Pete Carroll, who is never going to be golfing with John Gruden. Pete Carroll is a fucking lefty, thank heavens, right? I've always been conflicted by that. But dude, so Deity, you ready? So here's the thing. So yesterday, Trump did go golfing, okay? Yesterday, Trump left the White House and he went to the golf club. The press pool saw him. They took photos, but the photos were from like 50 feet away. They would not let anyone get close to him. And absent yesterday were the vertical video of all the people at the golf club interacting with Trump. And instead, right-wing people have been releasing like old photos. They've been releasing videos from a month ago, but there was no video taken yesterday at the Virginia Golf Club showing Trump like he normally does. He normally walks in, he shakes hands, they're fucking clapping for him. So he did leave the White House and he went to the golf club, but then we didn't see anything else until he left and came back. Okay, and everybody was kept like 50, 100 feet away from him, which is really unusual, man. You know what I'm saying? Something is fucking going on with this guy, right? Something, and no, it's not a body double, but something is definitely going on with him. He is fucking, I mean, we've seen the black hands, we've seen the swollen ankles, congestive heart failure, right? Edema, the swollen hands. He's obviously maybe got some kidney issues from the diuretics and whatever he's taken. Something is going on with him, okay? Something is fucking going on with this guy that he's not well. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know what the Walter Reed story is, okay? You know what I'm saying? But I don't know what the Walter Reed story is. But this was, you know, that was August 23rd when Gruden and Trump were hanging out. Okay, now you know what I'm saying? Now people are posting shit on the internet though, and this is hard because like we don't know what's true. A lot of the shit that's being posted on the internet is like bullshit right now. Okay? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of bullshit. Like anyone online can post, I saw Melania, right? I saw Melania in the fucking, you know, in the lounge at Walter Reed, and then that shit's gonna get like 1.5 million views. You know what I'm saying? So something is going on, okay? Something is definitely going on, but yeah, he doesn't look good, dude. He does not look good at all, bro. Even his face is looking like extra thumb like. Dude, extra thumb. Okay? All right, there we go, dude. Let's go with the big hat. Oh, shit. Dude, this is hilarious. Live look at Walter Reed right now. Oh, dude. Dude, you know that JD wants that. Hey, as long as we're talking about Melania, can I show you my little piece of, I created some art, guys, for Melania Trump. I did. I created some personal art for her in honor of, you saw the magazine article, the fake magazine article, a fake Vanity Fair of her with the crown. Everyone was passing that around on the internet, being like, oh, Melania, ooh, American Queen. So I decided to make one that is like the real cover of Vanity Fair. And I think you guys are gonna like this. Okay, but let me pull it up. It's right here. There it is. Right there's the real cover. Vanity Fair. I fucked Jeffrey Epstein, and my husband is a huge rapey shitter who smells bad. Dude, I really think that is that's the cover right there, boss. Don't you think? Don't you think that is the vibe? Dude, let me find the good one. Dude, one of those actually got a lot of fucking play, dude. I think it's, nope. I put them around. There's one of them that was getting some banging fucking views. There we go. This one was good. This was under the fucking person tweeting about Laura Ingraham's. Like, that's the one right there, dude. Right there it is. Right. I fucked Jeffrey Epstein, and my husband is a huge rapey shitter who smells bad. Dude, that is that's the tweet right there. I think it's beautiful, dude. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to buy, I have a subscription to Vanity Fair, so I'll be getting it in the mail. Vanity Fair is one of the subscriptions I have. So there you go. There you go. I'm looking forward to it. Make sure you get your copy today, right? You can't blame a woman who wants a bigger wiener. Dude, yeah. I mean, dude, as you can see, I've been posting that shit everywhere, bro. Oh, Lord have mercy, dude. I've been fucking posting that shit around, dude. Having a good time with it. Dude, I love it. I'm never going to let that one go. Oh, man. I'm Epstein's sloppy seconds. Oh, shit, dude. Dude, that's crazy. That shit is crazy. Can we just look at Melania and Epstein for a moment, please? Right? Can we take a moment to look at... All right, let's see if we can get some dirt on Melania and Epstein. Right? Oh, there we are. Dude, oh shit. We're fucking talking about it right now. Should we watch us talking? Should we watch us watch? Look at that, dude. We're watching us watch the... Dude, this is like meta right here, where we're literally scrolling on YouTube, watching us watch ourselves on YouTube. Like, tell me that's not a little freaky. You realize what's happening? We are watching us, like, watch us on fucking, we're watching us watch us on... Oh, fuck, bro. Dude, that is fucking wild, bro. That is some crazy shit. Dude, I think my head is spinning from that. Dude, that is like some Inception kind of shit. Yeah, dude, let's do the dance. Let's do the dance while we try to find something that's Melania and Trump. Good call, Shiloh. We got a dance coming. Let me get that ready, dude. We get that shit dialed in, boss. All right, let's go. Oh, shit. Oh. You guys ready? We do a little dance to our favorite Swedish artist, Stefan Karlin. Fucking little deja vu. You guys ready? Dude, yeah, that was crazy, bro. Here we go. Get it! Let's fucking go.
Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pain. Nothing is what I say.
All right.
I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. Nothing is what I think.
Gotta catch your little breath, baby. Dude, oh my God. It's a great joke. How many MAGAs does it take to change a light bulb? None. Trump says he changed it, and MAGA sits in the dark clapping. Dude, they will literally, like, fucking eat it all, boss. They will.
Freedom.
Ooh. Dude, I want to watch this, right? Because I really like this guy, dude. Dude, I'm getting my fucking win back, right? But dude, this guy is like one of my more favorite fucking reporters on the air right now. I can't remember his name. I literally just followed him on Twitter the other day. It's something Daniels, isn't it? Isn't it? Dude, what's this guy's name? Eugene Daniels. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Dude, I love this guy. Dude, I do. He's so good, dude. Yes, Eugene Daniels. So I think we should look at this, okay? Because, dude, we have a big day coming up. We're 2 days away, okay? In 2 days, September 3rd, Congress comes back in session, guys. And this is going to be a big fucking moment, dude. Congress comes back in session. The Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie are supposed to be hosting a press conference. It is the We Are Not a Hoax. Okay, let me find that fucking image. It's this one. Right? It's We're Not a Hoax, which is this fucking... Dude, I should have this shit saved. Here it is. Found it. I'm gonna fucking pull it off Facebook real quick. All right. Oh shit, I spelled it wrong, but that's all right. I'll figure it out. All right, so it is right here, right? This is it. Right there. There it is. There it is. We are not a hoax. Okay. Now, of course, Virginia Giuffre is not going to be there. But these women are getting together as part of a news conference. There are supposed to be some survivors, some Epstein survivors that nobody has heard from. They are having a press conference on Wednesday, September 3rd, with Congress coming back in session to start answering for this. Now, the Oversight Committee, there was a vote that was taken during that subcommittee with Clay Higgins when they sort of ambushed him and they voted to subpoena this shit. And remember when he was like, the nay has it, and it's like, fuck you, they took the count, and like everybody voted for this shit. So the Oversight Committee, Comer and Jordan, they have to do this. They have to requisition all this shit. Okay? And right? And so what's coming is this press conference is coming on Wednesday, and then on the 8th, the book, the birthday letter book with the drawing of the woman, that's going to show up with a bunch of other shit from Epstein's estate. Now, I want to tell you guys, there are like two guys. I guess there's not a board of directors. There's like a governorship or something that there's like two guys that are running the Epstein estate in the Virgin Islands. Now, it is my understanding from the little snooping I've done where there's been a lot of heat directed towards the Epstein estate and the guys that were left to manage this shit. It's like $600 million, okay? And a lot of it is for victims. But what happened is Epstein set up this estate like a week before he died. And there's these two guys that are managing it in the fucking, right, with some attorneys in the Virgin Islands. But there's been a lot of heat going on where I believe the Epstein estate is going to just start giving shit up. Because basically, the more cooperative the estate is, the less they're going to get looked into. So I think there's a tide turning where the estate has been getting like a microscope shoved up their ass that they're ready to give it all up. The victims realize, right? These surviving women realize that everybody, now's the time. Like I've said, it's now or never. You're never going to have this much support and clout as you do now. So it's fucking go time. All right. And so let's see what they got to say here. All right. I'm curious who they have on here. They're talking about the press conference. It's going to be on Wednesday, and Teresa Hellman, Jess Michaels, and several other victims. So release the files. Dude, we're going to release this shit. We are going to take these fuckers down, bro. We are. We're going to take them down, man. And I don't care. I don't care if Clinton and Bill Gates and a whole bunch of other bigwigs go down. I'm fine with that. To me, this isn't partisan, dude. Any Democrats who did this shit, I want them in the clink as well.
As Congress returns from summer recess, the Jeffrey Epstein scandal is back on the agenda. The Epstein estate plans to hand over the convicted sex offender's birthday book and other documents to Congress on September 8th. The book is reportedly, as you know, filled with...
Dude, what is with the audio, bro? Do you hear that audio? Dude, yeah, what is going on with the audio? I thought I had two windows playing. There's like somebody's got a cop whistle or some shit going on.
The Jeffrey Epstein scandal is back on the agenda. The Epstein estate plans to hand over the convicted sex offender's birthday book and other documents to Congress on September 8th. The book is reportedly, as you know, filled with well wishes from friends and associates, including an explicit message and drawing by President Trump, which Trump denies he did. But most importantly, lawmakers and the public will get to hear more firsthand accounts from Epstein survivors. The Washington Post reports that House Oversight Chair James Comer and members of his committee will meet privately with some of the survivors on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, Epstein survivors, including our next guest, will join Congressman Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie at a press conference on Capitol Hill. Joining us now are those Epstein survivors, Jess Michaels and Teresa Helm. Teresa is also...
Dude, what the fuck is going on with the audio, bro? The sirens in the background are a special touch. Yeah, dude, what is going on with the fucking sirens? Dude, like seriously, what is that sirenage? It's like one siren sound like fucking over and over and over again.
Survivor Services Coordinator at the National Center on Sexual Exploitation. Thank you both so much for coming on the weekend. Jess, I want to start with you. You will be meeting with at least Ro Khanna on Capitol Hill. Are you hoping that more Republicans add you to their docket, that you meet with Comer? And if you were...
Dude, I can't... We got to find this. Hold on. Dude, I don't know that I can listen to that shit, dude. That shit is fucking... Yeah, but dude, that's not even a real police siren. It's like the same loop on... Like real police sirens, they're spatial. Right? If they drive by, you hear it get louder and louder. It peaks when the cop car is close to you. Dude, yeah, there was something just in the background going fucking crazy like that. So hold on, let me find this. Jess Michaels, MSNBC. We'll see if we can find her. That's the one we're watching. Oh, fuck, bro. We may have to just fucking tough it out, dude. All right, dude. All right, we're just gonna fucking... hold on, we're at a minute 12. Let me just see.
Yeah.
And Jess, I just want to get you on that as well. What are you in talks with?
Dude, it's in the whole video, bro. There's no fucking way, dude.
I think what we're looking for with all of these meetings is courage on the part of Republican representatives, because this is most importantly a bipartisan issue. This is not something that anyone on any side of the aisle should be for. No one should be for child sex trafficking and allowing perpetrators to escape justice.
Yeah, this should literally be the entire Congress voting to release all of this shit and demanding it be out tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand what the battle is.
And no one should be for systems failing to prosecute over decades.
And I want to ask both of you, actually. We are seeing a little bit of movement in Congress. I mean, House Oversight Chairman James Comer, as Eugene noted, is going to be meeting with survivors on Tuesday. I'm not sure if both of you are on his docket. There are also a number of documents that he says he has subpoenaed for and is going to potentially release from the Epstein estate. But one, are you planning on getting on James Comer's schedule? And then two, what would you like to hear from the White House on this? And what does their lack of acknowledging any of this mean to both of you?
Go ahead, Teresa.
Hi. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for having me. Jess, good to see you here.
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Nice to meet you, too. I look forward to seeing you in a few days. Yes, I hope to meet with as many people who are willing to listen. I think it's very important for us to finally get at least some kind of FaceTime here on the subject. And what I would really be hopeful that I see from the White House and the administration is support on this, and not willing to, at this point, I feel like we've gone further past the point of survivors being not even at the table or in the discussion. We've gone to the point of being almost even silenced or just entirely bypassed.
Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking too, right? Is like, not only did they get cut out of the immunity and cut out of like the prosecution and cut out of like a lot of the sentencing, but that literally Ghislaine Maxwell got the voice, right? The convicted felon with all the sex trafficking counts and the sexual abuse counts. She got the meeting with the Justice Department. She got the national release of the transcripts and they're literally talking to the convicted abuser. And the survivors are like, who? Like, survivor who? It's fucking crazy. I mean, clearly, she's speaking clearly. There's nothing wrong with her. She's not wasted at all, guys.
So I'm hopeful for support is what I'm hopeful for, and the acknowledgement, and to stand with us like we stand with them. We are all in this together. We all want to protect children. We all have the obligation and the responsibility to protect children and people in general. So support would be truly, truly wonderful. We are all, this is just humanity, dignity. This is what this is. This support would be wonderful.
Yeah.
And Jess, I just want to get you on that as well. What are you in talks with James Comer's office?
I won't be in James Comer's office, but I will have other opportunities to be speaking to representatives. But there's something that's also, I think, being missed by a lot of people. The American people are with Epstein survivors.
Absolutely.
They are, if you've looked at any of my comments on social media, people are appalled at what's happening. They want justice, not just for us.
I feel like there's a significant portion of America across political party lines and just in general that want to see some resolution to this. You know what I'm saying? They want to see some resolution to right? Like, how can there be 1,000 victims and not one guy who sexually abused those girls is being prosecuted? How is that possible? Right? I mean, we literally just watched a 30-minute video about crime. You want to talk about crime, but there's 1,000 fucking victims and now one guy is getting prosecuted? Like, that does not compute, man. You know what I'm saying?
They understand that this affects them and how justice is going to play out in the future for if this ever happens again. We need systemic change, looking at all the failures that have happened over decades. And we need to have policy change that's going to make sure that none of this happens again. Nothing has changed, as I understand it, since Ghislaine Maxwell was sentenced and put in prison. Nothing has changed in any of those policies. We are asking, and we seem to be now, we seem to have become the representative of a lot of sexual assault survivors out there that have.
Yeah. I mean, think about that. The number of essays that happen outside of Epstein. I mean, you saw the numbers, right? In college, NCAA, there's 10,000 reported every year. 10,000 in college. That's reported, which means there's probably 30,000 that happen every year. And then how many, like tens of thousands of essays happen like out in the real world? And then think about the number of kids having it from an uncle, a father, a stepfather, a brother. I mean, dude, it's crazy rampant. Crazy, crazy, crazy rampant. It's like so many people are affected by this. And it's one of the greatest, like, overlooked crimes, dude, which is so fucking wild.
Never been heard and never been seen. So I do think that the wise thing would be for this administration and anyone meeting with us is to stand with us and support us, because there is not a single person in this country that would ever say, yes, all of this is okay as is.
And can I just say one other thing I want to add, because now I'm reading a lot of books about this and I've watched a bunch of videos. The Filthy Rich is a good documentary if you want to watch about the Epstein case. We watched it on my stream before I started the politics, back when I went through a little true crime phase as I was weaning off the gaming. It's a really good doc about this, but like never before, guys. Okay, in my 55 years, I'm coming up on my 56th birthday, and never have I seen somebody commit crimes that were so far-reaching where like the entire justice system literally bent over backwards to let the guy off. Like, I've never seen anything like it. From the state attorney to sabotaging his own case, to the FBI investigating after the cops called the FBI because the state attorney was sabotaging, and then the FBI granting the guy and everybody else immunity behind the backs of the victims, just letting him go. Then that guy gets a cabinet position, and like what the fuck is going on? And everybody's tight-lipped about this. And then only for Virginia Giuffre, like, civil suit against Ghislaine Maxwell that opens up a bunch of documents that then the reporters break the case 12 years later, and it brings down that cabinet position guy. He resigns. And then Epstein goes to prison and then ends up dead. And then other people are dying left and right. And then his modeling partner, Jean-Luc Brunel, ends up dead, a suicide in prison. It's like, bro. And the whole time, everybody was just letting him off, covering for him, protecting him. It's insane. Like, I've never seen anything like that. Dude, it's literally like this guy has gotten the ultimate, it's like the mafia getting him off, the ultimate mafia, like, get him out of jail and make him disappear, make everybody disappear. Like a fucking movie level, right? You go to a movie where like a friend of the president, like everything gets covered up and shit. This is literally what we're fucking like experiencing. And it's like, dude, I have alarm bells going off in every fiber of my being about this shit. And people are still like, dude, we should be shattering the windows with sledgehammers on this fucking thing.
Jess and Teresa, thank you so much for being here with us today. I'd like to read the statement from the family of Epstein accuser Virginia Giuffre, who, as you both know, died by suicide. The family was talking about the Ghislaine Maxwell transcripts that were released from Todd Blanche's interview with Maxwell. And in it, they say about that transcript, this travesty of justice entirely invalidates the experiences of the many brave survivors who put their safety, security, and lives on the line to ensure her conviction, including our sister. During Todd Blanche's bizarre interview, she is never challenged about her court-proven lies, providing her a platform to rewrite history. Teresa, what is your reaction to the released transcripts of this interview with a convicted sex trafficker, Maxwell?
Yes, I can very clearly tell you I felt pretty gutted, to be perfectly clear and honest on that. I sat and listened to this woman's calm, articulate voice. And you know what? That is the same calm and articulate voice that led me to believe that I was in a safe environment. And that is the same calm voice that led me to walk myself to Jeffrey's home.
You hear that? See, that's chilling, right? They play those tapes. They play them all over TV with her little accent. Oh, I never saw anything, inappropriate. And they're like, this was the woman that made these girls feel like they're safe. Like I'm reading Sarah Ransom's book right now, and she's talking about how she got roped into this thing, and it was the women, it was the Epstein's lieutenants, the women working for him that she's like, well, it has to be safe. Otherwise, this incredible high society aristocratic woman wouldn't be taking me there, right? That's what she did. She like made them all feel at ease right up to the point of where they were getting SA'd,
After meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell that day, I entirely, wholeheartedly agree with Virginia's family. And I was appalled. I'm continued to be appalled at the release and just the entire situation surrounding this interview with Ghislaine Maxwell. It is absolutely, it goes so far beyond throwing salt on wounds or anything like that. It's entirely destructive to survivors such as myself that had gone through personal experience with her, lived experience with Ghislaine Maxwell. And it entirely is devastating to the entire survivor community that if we're going to give this woman a platform and elevate her voice when the only voices that should be continued to be elevated and platformed are the survivors.
Absolutely.
This case and many other cases, I entirely agree with Jess on this as far as systemic review, reform, because this goes so far beyond, this is such a high profile case, and I get that. And it goes so much, it touches every single solitary soul on this earth, really, because the magnitude of assault and sexual abuse and violence that we have, this touches everyone.
Yeah. I mean, how can 1,000 women have their lives forever changed because of one man who then gets protected essentially by the US government the whole time right up until he ends up dead? Bro, this shit makes my blood boil. I mean, I'm a sexual abuse survivor myself, so I have like some skin in the game with this shit, but this shit makes my fucking blood boil. It is a lot, man. You know what I'm saying? Vlad, when you say that, why are these kids even hanging around dirty old men? That is like, you're way off the mark. First off, Epstein wasn't a dirty old man. He was a wealthy billionaire that offered help people. He paid for their college. He offered them to put them through art school. He was like a philanthropist. Okay. And these girls were from broken homes. Okay, because that's what these people did. They identified girls that didn't have parental figures, that had hard lives, that were perhaps getting abused at their own homes. And then they swept in like, we're going to take care of you and help you get all this opportunity. He's got endless money. And they roped them in. And these girls were thinking, finally, somebody that's like better than my broken home, that's going to help me get ahead. And then they fucking abused them. Right? It's like, quit blaming the victims, man, and quit realizing how abusers operate. Okay? They know who to pick. You know what I'm saying? They know who to pick, right? They know exactly what people need, dude. That's what groomers do. They like have a sixth sense for it. You know what I'm saying? And what's more is 14-year-olds that want to be models or want to go to art school or want to get their paintings in a New York art gallery. And then they meet a woman, a beautiful aristocratic woman, Ghislaine Maxwell, who's like, oh, I can get you to the art gallery. And she takes her there and introduces her to people at the art gallery. And she's like, you got to meet Jeffrey. Jeffrey's going to help you get in this gallery. And they feel so special and like, oh my God, it's finally, my life is turning around. And next thing you know, they're fucking getting abused, dude. This shit is so toxic, man. It is so toxic. And they always nail the vulnerable. They do, man. They always nail the vulnerable. They always like Like abusers know how to do this, dude. They're in fact sort of preternaturally good at it, you know?
Yeah, and we are still waiting to see whether or not Ghislaine Maxwell will come and testify before Congress in a very public setting where both Republicans and Democrats.
Dude, fuck Ghislaine Maxwell testifying to fucking Congress. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. Fuck Ghislaine Maxwell testifying before Congress, dude. She's a fucking perjuring, convicted felon, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ghislaine Maxwell should get a boot in the ass, dude, and fucking some, like, hard labor or some shit, bro. Like, why is the woman who committed these crimes, why are they fucking having her testify before Congress? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, she hasn't done a goddamn thing. Like, her voice should be buried, okay? Like here's the survivors, and here's the rest of the world, and here's everybody currently in prison, and all the way, there's like 100 feet of shit. And underneath that, and way down there, we're gonna let Ghislaine's voice whisper, right? Underneath the 100 feet of shit, underneath the voices of every other fucking human being on the planet. That's where Ghislaine Maxwell's voice, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, fuck her. The only reason why they want to put her voice out anywhere is so she can try to exonerate Donald fucking Trump. All right? And fuck him, and fuck her, and fuck all this bullshit. All right? All right? Dude, I'm going to go make some videos. Dude, I'm tuned up, as you might guess. And I have some Taco Bell that I'm going to go eat. I'm going to go eat some Taco Bell, and I am going to go make some videos because it's that time of the evening. All right? You know what it's like, dude. We're going to get edit mode activated. Dude, it pisses me off too, man. Because, dude, the other thing that's crazy is she abused the girls. She didn't just traffic them and groom them, but she actually, like, touched them and did shit. And, like, as an sexual abuse survivor myself in first and second grade, 2 half brothers, right, over a period of, like, I don't know, a year or a couple of months. I don't have all the memories, but I did go through EMDR and unlock a lot of this shit. But I can't even imagine what it would be like if my abusers were, like, on TV and having newscasters talk about, oh, they just exonerated, like, oh, they might, right? Even some of those newscasters, like, who's that fucking guy who was saying, oh yeah, Ghislaine Maxwell's a victim of Jeffrey too. Dude, if I saw my abusers on TV, a newscaster saying, yeah, they're victims, I would be fucking, like, wrecked, bro. You know what I'm saying? I would be fucking wrecked. You know? You know what I'm saying? Dude, I would be fucking wrecked, boss. That shit would be so hard. And I mean, even with Trump in office, because we know he's a rapist, even with him in office, every woman in America who has done healing work on, like, having had sexual abuse in her past, they look at Trump and they are wrecked, man. There's, like, so much trauma being reignited just by that rapey piece of shit becoming president, dude. It's like, he's just so bad for humanity, bro. Pine box, okay? That's it, all right? I love you guys, though. Dude, we're growing. We're getting good at this, all right? We're growing. Good shit is happening. We're going to build this shit. I have a big week. I am going to Oasis on Saturday, so I'm letting you know now. There's going to be no stream on Saturday. I'm flying out Saturday morning. Me and Bryce, we're going to Oasis Saturday night at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, and then I am flying back on Sunday, so I will be streaming Sunday night. I'm only taking Saturday off. I will be releasing some shorts on Saturday, maybe one video, but there's not going to be much going on Saturday. But we are taking a little trip, okay? So Saturday, no stream. All right, you're gonna have to watch some repeats, but Sunday I'll be back. We're just flying out, like flying in. All right, it's gonna be a fucking hit and run sort of deal, like a fucking 28 hours in Los Angeles. It's gonna be amazing. But I love you guys. All right, yeah, everybody, let's fucking communicate with the netherworld about the pine box, dude. That's all we need, baby. All we need is the fucking pine box, bro. Yeah. All right. And in the meantime, we're going to have a little bit of drown. Let's go, baby. I will see you guys tomorrow. Keep it real. Do not give up hope. We're in there. We're in it to win it, baby. Let's go. Good night.